Hi, in this video, you'll learn how to use Amped Studio. After signing up and logging in, you can open the studio by clicking Open Studio or New Project. So the studio is divided into a few main sections. The first one is the main toolbar. The second is the track panel, or mixer. The third is the arrangement view. The fourth is the sound library. And the fifth is the instrument settings and effects section. Let's start with the main toolbar. Here you can create a new project, share it with friends, export files, save projects, and import files. There's also a button to publish a track to your dashboard page. You can also use AI features, open the settings, and return to your profile. Next on the top panel are the undo and redo buttons. Here you can see the project name. Next are the tools. The arrow tool lets you select areas and move clips around. The time tool lets you stretch clips. And the split tool cuts a clip into separate pieces so you can move them around using the arrow tool. Next, you can see the current position of the playhead in the project. You can also switch it to display bars. Next are the return to start and play buttons. The Rec button lets you record parts using your computer keyboard or a connected MIDI keyboard. To play using your computer keyboard, just click this button here. Let me quickly show you how it works. Let's pick an instrument, like an 808 bass, for example, and record something. Next is the loop locator, which lets you loop a selected region below. Then comes the metronome, which helps you stay in time while recording. Next, you can see the BPM. This is where you set the project tempo. Next is the time signature, which lets you change the grid for different rhythms and time signatures. Overdubbing lets you layer multiple recordings on the same track. Let's create a new track so you can see how it works. Pick a synth. And we'll record with the overdubbing button enabled, which lets us layer notes on top of each other within a short loop. Without the overdubbing button, the notes get replaced each time you record. Next is the automation button. It lets you record parameter changes while the project is playing. Let's take volume, for example, and change it during playback. This way you can record different automation movements. Next is the export button, lets you render the project to audio or back up the project locally. The share button lets you share your track on social media. And finally, there's the save project button. On the panel below, you can see the magnet icon, which turns grid snapping on or off. With the magnet on, clips snap to the grid. If you turn it off, snapping is disabled. There's also a settings button here with additional studio settings. Let's move on to the left panel. At the top is the Add New Track button, which lets you add a new instrument. Here you can choose from the synthesizers available in the studio. VST Remote lets you connect plugins installed on your computer. You can add an audio track or choose from various ready-made presets. Let's pick something from the synthesizers and check out some presets. For example, let's go with Pad, Juno Milk. And let's record one bar. By clicking the clip, you can edit it and extend it if needed. Now, back to the side panel. Here you'll also find AI tools that let you start a project with AI, change your voice, or split a track into separate stems. Each channel has the same set of control buttons. The first one is mute, which silences the channel. The solo button lets you hear only that channel. The automation button lets you adjust parameters like volume and pan, as well as any parameters available in the instrument. Let's look at this on track 4. Add a parameter from the synthesizer and choose one of the most common ones, the filter cutoff. You can also add a parameter from the device panel of the instrument by clicking Show Automation and adjust the parameter here. By adding automation, you can make your track feel more alive. Next is the Arm for Recording button, which is automatically enabled when a channel is selected. Next is the volume fader. And a knob that lets you control the panning. At the bottom is the master channel, which lets you control the overall mix. Next, let's move to the arrangement window. Here you can move and arrange your clips. Let's cut these clips into smaller parts. Delete the clips you don't need, and move the clips to the very beginning of the arrangement. By selecting these clips, you can duplicate them. You can merge multiple clips into one larger clip by selecting them while holding Shift. Inside this clip, you can make various changes. Let's do the same with the clips at the bottom. You can make some changes here. In the arrangement window, you can move clips around in many different ways. You can duplicate the bass, copy the drums, and build a structure like this. You can also rename each instrument here. Let's rename this one to drums. Below that will be melody. Below that will be chords. As you may have noticed, clicking on a clip opens either the piano roll or the audio editor, so you can work with MIDI and audio. If you select MIDI, you can move a single note or all the notes at once. You can duplicate both the note and the space around it. There's also a velocity panel here, which lets you set different volumes for each note. You can merge all these clips using Merge Clips and set different volume levels for each note to make them sound more alive. In audio clips, you can also delete certain fragments. And notice that they're removed from the main arrangement while the clip shape stays the same. You can cut out a specific section here, for example, You can see this part here and reverse it. This way you can create small, interesting transitions. This is how you can spice up your arrangement. You can also adjust the pitch and change the volume using the gain editor. Let's move on to the library area. Here you can see various tags you can use to search for the sounds you're looking for. Let's choose vocals, for example. And here you can see that we're in the premium library. You can also switch to free, your own uploaded sounds, or all sounds. Let's go back to the premium library and listen to how the samples sound here. Let's try dragging this sample into the arrangement. If you don't see the category you're looking for, you can go to the Advanced Settings and choose what you need under the Instrument tab. Claps, for example. And let's add these claps to the arrangement. Let's make them quieter. Let's add some percussion. For example, this percussion sample, and let's add it directly to the arrangement, and let's listen to how it sounds. In the library, you can filter samples by BPM, by key for melodic samples, and by genre if you're looking for a specific style. You can hide the library. Now let's move to the device panel at the bottom, where you can see the instrument with its settings and add various effects. By selecting each channel in the mixer, you can see the instrument at the bottom change. Here you can also adjust the volume, pan, mute, solo, and change the instrument. Right now, this is the Synth tab. You can also click here to see which preset you're using. On each instrument, you can see special settings that let you shape the sound. For example, this DeepMind sound has its own settings that you can adjust to your taste. You can also add your own effects to each sound. Let's add an effect. Choose reverb here, and adjust the reverb on the vocals to taste. Once you've finished your track, you can export it. Thanks for watching. Check out our other videos on YouTube and the tutorials on the Amped Studio website.